بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Respected sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I know, it's getting close to iftar and we haven't really got the energy, but I'm not going to ask you to repeat that. You already did it with Brother Hassan. Firstly, Jazakallah khair, Brother Hassan, for the amazing reminder. A very, very powerful reminder. And if you haven't already, respected sisters and brothers, could you please pick up your phones and go into Instagram and just search the Ali Brothers Island and follow? He's a legend. He's a giant. Him and his brother, mashallah. Have a look at the guests that they've had on their podcasts, mashallah. So please do follow them if you haven't already, inshallah. You can revolute me later, inshallah. Jazakallah. Jazakallah khair, Brother Hassan. It was amazing, powerful reminder. Today, respected brothers and sisters, we gather to support our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Now, at Islamic Relief, we have called this crisis the forgotten crisis. I'll explain why. Can anybody tell me when the crisis started exactly?
15th of April 2023.
Did anyone else know that? Show of hands. Anybody else know that? 1, 2, okay. The recent crisis in Gaza, when did it start? How many of you knew that? That's why it's called the forgotten crisis, unfortunately. For Islamic Relief, Sudan is close to our heart. And in order for me to explain why, I'll have to just show you a quick 2-minute video, and then I'll explain why Sudan is close to Islamic Relief. And we're not just saying this because today's event is about Sudan, by the way. You'll find out after the video, inshallah.
We started because of the need. So the needs of the people in Africa were the main inspiration. When we saw their images on television dying in hundreds and thousands in the Horn of Africa, in Eritrea and Tigray, and this moved me and my colleague. And so really, there was no plan. There was no boardroom where we sit down and discuss and communicate and read. It was the image. In 1984, we did not have an office. We just have a small donation box on the wall. And when we had the first telephone line, we thought, here we are, we're going to connect and communicate with the outside world. We did not have any employee, 1985, or volunteers coming. But the most important thing in the first 3 or 5 years was the focus on the needs of the people.
We all saw the founder of Islamic Relief, Dr. Hani, in that video. In 1983, he and a few of his colleagues or a few of his associates were in Sudan on a medical research trip. This was before Islamic Relief existed. 1983. And that's where he saw the need that he mentioned in the video. He asked a question, a very profound question, which was, At that time, it was around 900 to almost 1 billion Muslims worldwide. And he said, where's the zakah going? Where is the money going? If there's famine in Sudan and the East African region. In January 1984, he and his associates decided to establish an organization, and he was just a volunteer, Islamic Relief. From Birmingham, in a small office, and I'm not lying to you, it's no bigger than the table that you guys are sitting on. A very, very small office. And he went on a mission. Door to door, street to street, mosque to mosque, city to city, all around the UK, and he raised £100,000. Now, for those of you who don't know the monetary value of £100,000 in 1984, it's the equivalent about of £1 million today. And he did this before Google Pay. Should I mention Apple Pay? Please. Okay. And he did this before there was anything called Revolut. Bank transfers were very, very rare. In fact, you could only be like a multi-millionaire to be able to do a bank transfer. But this was like all cash. The government decided to match that donation with another 100,000. And in 1985, our first field office was established in Sudan. That's why Sudan is important to Islamic Relief. It's part of our history. The situation in Sudan is drastic. We all know this. The numbers you see on the screen, it's not accurate. They say that it's far higher than that number there. Over 8 million people displaced. If you think about the situation in Gaza, 1.5 million have moved and been displaced. 1.5 million. And it's already, many organizations are calling it could possibly lead to a famine. Now think about that number there, 8 million. 17.7 million people facing high levels of acute food insecurity, 3.4 million children suffering from malnutrition, and even the United Nations have said that it's on course to becoming the world's worst hunger crisis. Now, Islamic Relief, since 1985, have got an established office. They have hubs in each of those cities, and they have delivered thousands of projects since 1985 until today. In fact, only this year, and this is something that many people don't know, and the only way you'd know is if you do follow Islamic Relief worldwide. This year, they've delivered over 464,000 people. They've provided food security and livelihoods projects. They've provided shelter for over 3,000 people, water to over 15,000, and health and nutrition projects for 67,000 people. This is just this year. Just this year. A lot of people don't know. The focus has been on Gaza. This is why it's very, very important that we remember our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Before I go on, I just want to ask a couple of quick-fire questions to test everybody's knowledge. Who can tell me what time is iftar today? Anybody? 8:08. MashaAllah, to the minute, right? Subhanallah. Did anyone else know that? Could you put your hands up if you knew that? MashaAllah, there's quite a few. Brothers, did you know that it was 8:08? Did you know? Okay, I'm going to ask another question now. Does anybody know what time Asr started today? Does anybody know? 5 past? Well, mashallah. Yeah, that's correct. Now, we're all here today, and we're expecting to have an iftar, inshallah ta'ala. Each and every one of us. We know that, inshallah. This is the privilege that we are blessed with. However, thousands, possibly millions of our brothers and sisters in Sudan don't know where that next meal is coming from. They have to resort to these shelters and depend on humanitarian aid to provide that assistance. Going back to one of the points that Brother Hassan mentioned in his talk, we are in a month of opportunities, not just a blessed month of good deeds, it's also a month of opportunities to be able to provide for our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Now I would like, before I go further, I would like to now test everybody's knowledge to see if everyone's still awake. I know it's close to iftar. When was Islamic Relief established? MashaAllah, everyone's paying attention. And when did we first start our operation in Sudan? 1986? Anyone else? That's when Islamic Relief started. When did we start our operation in Sudan? January 1985, correct. This is an opportunity for us to help our brothers and sisters in Sudan. An opportunity that, as Brother Hassan mentioned, if only we knew the good days that we're living in, we only realize it once it's gone. And this is an opportunity for us to take advantage of this blessed month in one of the last 10 nights of Ramadan, to do good and to help our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Forgive me. Now, right now, the priority is food. The priority, especially during the month of Ramadan, is food. In fact, it's been the priority ever since a lot of our brothers and sisters have been displaced in the shelters. This is an opportunity for us to be able to provide families with food parcels that will last them for the whole month, inshallah ta'ala. So, I'm asking, out of the group here, who is willing to provide 500 euros to feed 10 families in this blessed month of Ramadan? Who will be the first one to start? Now, please, you don't have to do this alone. You can all do it as a group. You can commit and say, right, I and 4 of my friends will contribute 100 euros each. So who will be the first one to put their hand up? And whoever puts their hand up first, can we have a takbir for the sister, please? A takbir, a proper takbir, come on. Allahu Akbar. Jazakallah khair. You will be rewarded for every other person that puts their hand up, inshallah ta'ala. And remember, when you help your brothers and sisters in Sudan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you for every person that breaks their fast during this blessed month without your reward diminishing in any way. You will receive that reward. Barakallahu feekum. Is there anyone else that is willing to provide? Can we have another takbir for the brother, please? Another takbir. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you and your family and reward you, brother. Jazakallah khair. You know, when you give in charity, wallahi, it never decreases your wealth. And this is not my words. I've mentioned this many times. This is not my words. It's the words of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he says, "Ma naqasa mala abdin min sadaqah," that your wealth will never decrease when you give in charity. So when you give, not only are you benefiting for your akhirah, you are also, without you realizing it, you're benefiting for the dunya as well. Is there anybody else willing to help? I can see half hands up. Are you scratching your head, brother? Oh, you're scratching, okay, no problem. Is there anyone else that is willing to provide for 10 families for a whole month? Think about that. Do you know, all it takes is one of those people to just lift their hands to the heavens and say, Ya Rabb, may Allah bless this family that provided for me today. And that's you sorted for the rest of this life. For those of you that want to pledge and don't have the funds today, you can always pledge and pay later on. You can put your hand up. One of our volunteers will approach with a form. You can fill it out and you can pledge. You can pay it later on. You can pay it in installments. It's up to you. Is there anyone else that's willing to pledge 500 euros to provide 10 families with food for a whole month? Anybody else that wants to pledge? I'll move on to the next ask, but let's get one more. Let's get one more pledge. You don't have to pay it all today. You can say, right, within the next 4 months or 5 months, I'll pay 100 euros per month. Is there anybody willing to do that? Can we have a hand? Did you scratch your chin there? I'm sorry, I'm very alert. Anybody else before we move on? Can we have a takbir for the sister over there? Can we have a takbir? A proper takbir, please. A proper takbir. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakallah khair, sister. Thank you very much. May Allah reward you and bless you, and may it be a means of protection, inshallah, Yawm al-Qiyamah. I'll move on to the next task, which is 300 euros for 6 families. Anybody willing to provide for 6 families? Remember, it's Ramadan. We have a sister there. Takbir. Can you just for a second, just imagine the situation that our brothers and sisters are in Sudan, when they're having to resort and queue up for their food on a daily basis, particularly those that were displaced and are at shelters now. Can you please, I don't want to do this alone. Just imagine the situation that they're in now, where they're having to resort to queues and humanitarian aid for their sustenance. This is the situation we're in. And remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He puts these opportunities in front of us. He puts these to test us, to see who is willing to help our brothers and sisters at times of need. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all, inshallah. May Allah ta'ala protect our families, but words can't describe the situation that our brothers and sisters are in Sudan. Do we have anyone else for 300 euros to provide 6 families food for the whole month? Do we have another sister? Brothers, I have to say this, right? Every event I go to, it's always a sister stepping up. Can we have some brothers showing some hands and love, man? Come on, I'm going to put you on the spot here now. You don't have to all do it yourself. You could just team up with a group of your brothers and just say, right, I'll pledge. I won't even commit today. I'll pledge 300 euros for the next 3 months, and I'll pay me and a few others. Anybody else? Any of the brothers? We have a brother here. Jazakallah khair. Takbir. Jazakallah khair, brother. Jazakallah khair. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards those with ihsan. وَمَا جَزَاءَ الْإِحْسَانِ إِلَّا الْإِحْسَانِ. We'll move on to the smaller asks. Do we have 150 euros to feed 3 families? Is there anybody willing to help? We have a sister here at the front. Can we have a round of applause for the sisters, please? A round of applause. They deserve it. They've been here and they've stepped up. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and your families, mashallah. Jazakumullah khair. Do we have anyone else for 150 euros to feed 3 families? We have another one here. We have another one there at that table. Takbir. We have a brother here. Jazakumullah khair. Takbir. And we have another brother who's just donated 300 just a few minutes ago. Barakallahu feek. A takbir for brother Shahmir. Do you have anyone else for 150 that will feed 3 families for a whole month? We have another sister there at the far table over there. And we have another sister there. Oh, are you a group? Okay, Jazakumullah khair. Barakallahu feekum. Barakallahu feekum. Do we have one more before I move on? One more? We have another brother here. I think you put your hand up earlier, did you? Oh, okay. We have another brother here. Takbir for the brother. Jazakallah khair, brother. May Allah bless you. Thank you. And now we'll go to the final ask, which is to feed 1 family for a home. By the way, it is an average of, the food parcels feed a family of 6. So that's 6 individuals that are benefiting from this food parcel. So 50 euros will feed a family for a month. And the food parcels consist of wheat. They come in 10 kilograms. Wheat, flour, sugar, lentils. You have your pasta, some beans, and it's mashallah, it feeds the family for a whole month. So 50 euros to feed a whole family for a month. Anybody? We have a sister here. We have another one there. We have another one, and another one, and another one. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khair. We have our volunteers here that have forms. They have the card machines. Please do take advantage of our volunteers. Barakallahu feekum. Do we have any of the brothers? 50 euros to help feed? We have another brother here, and another brother. Barakallahu feek, jazakumullah khair. Can we have a takbir collectively, please? Allahu Akbar. We have another sister here. MashaAllah. I think we didn't have enough volunteers on the day. They're running around. I've never seen the volunteers run around so fast today, MashaAllah. Do we have any more for 50 euros? You know what, we was at, are people still going to be turning up? Are they going to be close to iftar, right? Yeah, close to iftar. All right. I'll do another fundraiser when they come in. I'll put them on the spot, inshallah. Do we have any more for 50 euros to feed a family of 6 for a whole month? Really? Seriously? Brother Shahmir has put his hand up 3 times. Can we have a takbir just for Brother Shahmir, please? May Allah reward you, brother. May Allah bless you and your family. Jazakallah khair. Do we have any more? 50 euros to feed a family of 6. We have one here. We have one here. Brother Hassan, mashallah. Takbir. Can I just double check? Did you all follow the Ali Brothers Island? Did everybody follow? Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much. Thank you. You'll be satisfied with the content that they put on. Very, very beneficial, mashallah. Very beneficial. Is there anyone else? 50 euros to feed a family of 6. Any more hands going up before we move on with the program? Anybody else? We have another brother here. Barakallahu feek. Takbir. Takbir. Jazakumullah khair, everybody, for your support this evening in helping our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Please do remember them in your du'as. I've mentioned this many times in my previous campaigns where we're fundraising for other appeals, but I'll say this here as well. The bare minimum that we can do is to supplicate du'a for our brothers and sisters. You know, the thing is, we tend to forget, we are obviously called insan, which is taken from the root word of nisyan, and that it means to forget. And one of the things that we forget is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that He is near for those that call, that do dua. Inni qareeb, ujibu da'wat ad-da'i idha da'an. How many of us know the times of our du'as being accepted? Who knows? Can somebody give just one example? One example of when our du'as can be accepted. That is the point that I wanted to get to, but yes, that is one of them, before iftar. This is an opportunity for each and every one of us, when we're having our iftar, instead of thinking about what's for dessert, then we just put our hands up and say, Ya Rab, kun awnan li akhwanana wa khawatana fi Sudan. Oh Allah, support our brothers and sisters in Sudan. This is the bare minimum, no excuses. If you don't have anything to give, then you do have your voice, you do have your dua that can help our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Please remember them. Another way to support as well is to remind everybody of this forgotten crisis. We all have social media profiles. Each and every one of us can start up a Just Giving page. Link it to any of the... When I stand on a podium, Now, my superiors in Islamic Relief would not like me saying this, but whenever anyone from the charity sector stands up and does a fundraiser to support our brothers and sisters in any part of the world, please support them. This is an opportunity for us to start up Just Giving pages to help our brothers and sisters. This is another way. Anyone who donates to your Just Giving link, you would also get the reward because you're considered of the amilin alayha, those that work to collect the charity. That is another way we can support our brothers and sisters. Your donations today will go directly to the field. Directly to the field, our established office there would receive your funds and deliver it straight to the people. It's not going to go through a third-party organization. It's not going to be given to any other entity. It will go straight to the people, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair for everybody, and inshallah, please remember our brothers and sisters during your du'as, especially during iftar. I will remind you when it's time to do iftar. We can all collectively pray for our brothers and sisters in Sudan. You should never underestimate the power of a dua when you're making dua at iftar. Barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khair wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.